Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. I'm Carrie of Sims and Dragons, and today we are back with Saya no Uta, or the Song of Saya. So just to kind of quickly go over some things that already happened. So last time we met some very important characters. We have Sakisaka Fuminori, who is our protagonist. The only thing we really know about him is that he has some sort of terrible accident and he finds himself in a, he sees a pretty much a nightmare. I don't know if you guys remember what it looks like, but I have it blurred and dimmed on my recording. That way you guys aren't really seeing the full experience, and technically neither am I. But either way, it doesn't look pretty. We also met Omi Takahata. That is the correct way to say her name, by the way. Fuminori is actually his first name. I was reading it the Japanese or the Oriental style. I don't know if it's just Japanese or if it's also Chinese. Who is the girlfriend of one of our other characters. So she is friends with another character named Yo Tsukuba. And again, we don't really know too much about her except that she's also friends with Fuminori. We have Koji Tono. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He is another one of Fuminori's friends and Omi's boyfriend. And we have Yo Tsukuba, who wants to be Fuminori's girlfriend, and kind of counts herself as that because she asked him out, or she asked him out, but she never got really a full answer when she did. So yeah, those are really the only characters we know. We also kind of briefly met the doctor, but we don't know her name, or Ryoko Tanbo. I actually have the manual up on my screen right now so I can kind of see it. This is his chief physician after the accident. Again, I have no idea what accident it is that they're talking about. I haven't gotten that far, so I'm really hoping to kind of get through there. So let's go ahead and hit load. And oh, never mind. This is gonna suck, so hold on guys, I'm gonna get back to where we were and be right back. Alrighty, so I'm pretty much back to where we were. I don't remember if we saw this little bit here. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get on there. So Dr. Tambo Ryoko has never had a more troublesome patient.
その後の経過はどうですか、崎坂さん。
いえ、別段。これといって問題もなく。
His voice is hard and flat. His words tossed carelessly into the air. It's like he's speaking to himself in an empty room. Ryoko is a surgeon, not a psychiatrist, but even she can sense the thickness of the wall he has erected between
吐き
himself
気や
and the
めま
world.
い、幻聴や幻覚といった体験は？
Yes,
いえ、
hallucinations.
何も。
You're such a liar! While Sakisaka appears to be looking at Ryoko, his gaze is actually aimed a fraction down and to the side. He's only superficially engaged in the conversation when in truth it does not interest him in the slightest. Perfect projection. Realizing that she can't interview him like this, Ryoko sighs and set her chart
崎
aside.
坂さん、あなたが当院で受けた処置は脳神経医学の分野では世界的に最先端の治療でした。そのことはご存知ですよね。
Treatment of subdural hematoma through the use of micromachines, a procedure available in Japan exclusively here at T University, had been the only way to save Sakisaka Fuminori from a cerebral contusion that should have been fatal. Yay?
最先端であるということは、まだまだデータの出揃っていない危険性の伴う治療法だったという意味でもあります。
そうでしょうね。
Sakisaka Fuminori's lips twist slightly in what might have been a bitter or mocking smile, but it is gone before Ryoko can discern its meaning.
普通こんなことを言って脅かすのは医者として問題なんですが、施術後に重大な脳障害をきたしたケースも報告されているんです。予後の経過には十分に注意しなければなりません。
Hence these weekly checkups, if only he would take them a little more seriously.
先週の MRI はどうでした？
MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, is a way for doctors to examine the brain in detail without opening the patient's skull. Surprisingly, by Sakisaka's uncommon technical knowledge, Ryoko
そう
recalls
い
his
えばあな
profile.
たも医者の卵だったわね。
先生が心配しているような脳機能不全は画像診断だけでも十分にわかるはずですよね。 何か異常はあったんですか？
いいえ。
There was nothing, not the slightest hint of abnormal activity. For a procedure with such a low rate of success, the results have been nothing short of miraculous. However, something still bothers Ryoko. She can't shake the feeling that he's hiding something beneath his guarded exterior. Some terrible weight on his soul, perhaps? But if it's an inorganic problem, then there's nothing she can do as long as he refuses to explain it.
大丈夫ですよ、
And
先
that is
生。
true.
現に僕は今こうして病院の外でも何不自由なく生活しています。
Sorry, I don't get
問題
itchy
なんて
nose
な
for
いで
some
しょ。
reason.
ねえ咲坂さん、こういった難しい手術は予後不断が原則なんです。もう少し私たちを信用してもらえませんと。
そうですよね。僕だって先生方を信用したい。どんな相談にも乗ってもらえるんですか？
ええ、もちろん。
Smiling to cover her irritation, Sakisaka asked exactly the same question during last week's visit. That would be mildly irritating if you remember that. I guess he just doesn't remember the
先
ask.
週の話の続きなんですが、先生、あれから大貝教授については何か分かりましたか？
Dr. Ogai, who's that? Unable to answer, Ryoko hardens the mask of her smile. As before, the patient is inquiring about someone who he has no
大
business
貝教
knowing.
授のことはあなたの治療とは何の関係もないでしょ。
信頼しろと言った矢先にいきなり隠し事ですか？
But if you have no business... Ryoko is used to patients treating her with hostility. Some degree of paranoia is natural when dealing with a person whose mistakes could kill you. I understand that, yes. In Sakisaka, however, she doesn't see the anxiety that other patients exhibit. His demeanor is perfectly calm, almost like a detective questioning a suspect. But how does he know something he's not
何
supposed to
分
know?
だいぶ前にここを辞められた方ですからね。私個人としても交流があったわけではないし。
I feel like she's
辞めた
lying.
理由はご存知ない？
ええ、おそらく個人的な事情でしょうね。
Her earlier hesitation gone. Having decided at the outset to lie, haha, I'm good. She has no trouble doing so with
そ
a
れに
straight
して
face.
も咲坂さん、なぜあなたはそんなに大貝教授にこだわるんです？お知り合いですか？
教授は今失踪中なんです。知ってましたか？
いいえ。
Ryoko realizes that her answer may have been a little too quick. She should have acted more surprised. Nah, if you're gonna lie, you have to do it very
近頃教授の
convincingly.
身内の人間と恋にしていましてね。その人から調査を頼まれているんです。
I get a relative. Ryoko considers this
大
with
貝
a
教授
frown.
に縁者の方はおられないはずですが、
おお、誰から聞きました？
それは噂話に。
Remembering that she just claimed to have no contact with the man.
そんなことが噂になる程度には大貝教授は有名人だったわけですね。
See, this right here means that she probably paused right there. So that means
まあ
that he knows that
一
she's
風変
lying
わ
at
った
this
人だっ
point.
たみたいですね。
なのに誰も彼が大学を辞めた理由を知らないと。
Ryoko falls silent, knowing that this isn't a topic she can brush away with a smile. Sakisaka seems to have finally grasped her mood, however, as a strangely stiff tone
Sensei.
softens a little.
僕はどうしても大貝教授に会わなきゃならないんです。彼がいなくなったせいで行く当てがなくなり困っている子がいるんです。力になってもらえませんか？
それはむしろ警察の領分なんじゃないかしら。
Although she makes it sound like the most obvious thing in the world, the suggestion is actually a gamble. If Ogai Masahiko's disappearance becomes a police matter, then the university will be investigated. Everyone who was involved in the incident will be at risk of exposure. Alright, so now we have a couple mysteries. We have the mystery of what happened to Fuminori, and now we have the mystery of Ogai being missing. We also have the mystery of what the heck the incident was with Ogai, and what exposure they'll be at risk of. And of course that includes Ryoko herself. Well, yeah. She knows, however, that Sakisaka is unlikely to go to the police. First of all, his excuse is obviously a lie. They already made sure that Ogai had no relatives who might come looking for him, which is why they could bury the truth of what happened. But then how did Sakisaka, a mere patient, learn about Ogai?
咲坂さん、私の知っている範囲のことは喜んでお教えします。ですが、大貝教授は今年の4月に辞表を出して、以後は何の音信もないんです。
Last April.
どこか長期の旅行にでも行かれたか、その程度しか想像つきません。
そうですか。
Expecting resistance, Ryoko is surprised when Sakisaka backs down. She's still worried about his condition, and the mysterious link between him and Ogai is only making her more uneasy. But as long as he doesn't open up to her, there's nothing she can do. After a brief pause, Ryoko writes progress good on Sakisaka's chart.
咲坂さん、それでは来週の診察ですが、今日と同じ4時でも。
Before she can finish, Sakisaka is gone. As we can tell by the door closing. Yeah. Oh, we're back in the gruesome world. It looks like someone sprayed walls with pig guts from ceiling to floor. What color should the walls of a hospital be? White, of course. And to the creatures of rotten flesh shambling around me, I'm sure this hallway looks just as white as it should. Sorry, I thought I heard of one of my dogs walking around. I know intellectually that the walls are white. I know that the flesh beasts are really humans. I'm the one with the problem, and it's because I've accepted this that I'm able to lead something approaching a normal life. Even if my university's medical department is nowhere near as good as T University's, I'm still a medical student specializing in neurology. I have a basic idea of what has happened to me, though it's hard to believe. This isn't a pathological condition. It's probably some form of agnosia? I don't know what that is. Unlike anything that has ever been studied before. The flesh beast called Tonbo Ryoko said that the other patients had developed neurological disorders after receiving the same treatment I did. So I guess I'm just another failure. It makes me want to laugh in that know-it-all doctor's face. There's definitely some tension there. That said, I don't blame the doctors who operated on me. After all, I do owe them my life. I know as well as anyone how low the chance of success was, and that I had no other hope of survival. I was unlucky. That's all there is to it. The point is that my condition isn't treatable. Just like someone adapting to hearing aid or wheelchair, I have no choice but to adapt to this nauseating scenery. Of course it's hard. It wasn't easy to resign myself to this fate. But now there's more than just despair. Even for me, there's a glimmer of hope. Well, there you go. Everyone needs hope. Keeping my eyes on my feet, I hurry home. I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood in a house that is much too large for me alone. My parents, even unluckier than I was, died in the accident 3 months ago. I couldn't even go to the funeral for being in intensive care. Ooh, that's sad. I had to sell my father's business, but at least that left me with the house and enough money to live on for a while. Still sad. Of course I'm sad. But the accident took more from me than my parents. In fact, being on my own has probably saved me. If they were still alive, my parents would never have allowed me to live with some strange girl. Are we finally meeting Saya? As I open the door, a bright voice greets me from the kitchen. The voice is beautiful and clear as a bell. Human. Its sweet sound washes the day's cacophony from my memory.
ただいまさや。
Even the patter of feet coming down the hallway is music to my ears. Nowhere else in the city can I hear such footsteps. Only in this house with Saya am I so privileged.
遅かったね。
Oh, she's
ちょっ
cute.
と心配しちゃったぞ。
ごめんよ。今日は病院に寄っていく日だったから。
あー、そうだっけ。
And her smile and the inquisitive tilt of her head is everything that I have lost. Since my accident, this girl is the only person I've met, perhaps the only person in the entire world who does not trigger my cognitive disorder. True, her skin seems too white, and the color of her eyes and hair is probably different in reality, but even so, her form is undeniably human. And it's not just her appearance and her voice either. As I bend down to take off my shoes, Saya wraps her arms around my neck and pulls me gently into her chest. Her skin feels truly human, not cold or slimy, and from her hair wafts a sweet feminine fragrance. Someone's in love. In all the world, only Saya is pleasing to my five senses. And what's more, she smiles at me, embraces me. She knows that she is my salvation, and for some reason is happy that I need her. If I had not met Saya, if I had been alone in this twisted, filth-ridden world, I would no doubt have succumbed to madness. It is no exaggeration to say that Saya alone is keeping me
今日は
alive.
一日どうしてた？
今の模様替えもう半分ぐらい塗り終わったよ。で今はね、文則の晩ご飯作ってるの。昼間テレビで作り方やってたから。
そうか、楽しみだな。
もうちょっと時間かかりそうなの。待っててくれる？
いいよ。じゃあ僕は今の続きをやってる。
After I see the humming Saya off to the kitchen, I step into the living room. Okay. I realized one day that if the natural colors of the world were sickening, all I had to do was paint over them with colors that seemed pleasant. Went to the hardware store and bought every color of paint I could find. Then Saya and I tried different combinations until we found one that worked. After painting the bedroom from ceiling to floor, I was finally able to get my first good night's sleep since the accident. Did you paint the bed too? When we first started in the living room, Saya, unsure what to do with the curtains, just painted carefully around the windows. Without a moment's hesitation, I tore the curtains down and painted over the glass itself. There'll never be anything other than that I want to see as long as we keep the storm shutters closed. The neighbors probably won't think anything of it.
ご飯できたよ。
こっちで食べよう。持ってきてくれるか？
As she enters the living room with a tray of food, Saya
ペ
sniffs
ン
the
キの
air.
匂い平気？
Now that she mentions it, I suppose the smell of paint thinner must be building up in this closed room. It doesn't really bother me though. There are far worse smells outside.
さやは嫌いかい？
ううん、平気。文則が大丈夫ならいい。
Saya sets the food on the table. Unfortunately, neither its color nor its smell is at all appetizing. Not that food elsewhere is any
いただき
different.
ます。
As has become routine, I steel myself and methodically transport the food into my mouth. The taste is as gut-wrenching as I expected, but it's not Saya's fault. I'm sure she made it exactly like the cooking show said. It's just that my taste buds can't accept it.
美味しくない？
まあね。
Lying won't make Saya happy. She knows about my condition.
気にしないで。明日はまた別のものを作ってあげるから。
ごめんな、いつも。せっかく作ってくれたのに。
いいのよ。こうやっていろいろ試していけば、いつか文則でも美味しく食べられるメニューが見つかるかもしれないじゃない。
In my current state, eating is nothing more than an unwelcome duty. As much as I hate it, I need food to survive. If I stay alive, then perhaps one day, as Saya says, I'll be able to taste something delicious again. I met Saya, didn't I? Yeah, but she's like, you're not supposed to
Saya
eat
は
her.
食べないの？
I don't think.
私はもう済ましたから。
Something's going on with this chick. And all the time we've been together, Saya's never once eaten with me. I don't know why she refuses to do so. It makes me a little sad. Still, I'm not about to push the issue. Not when she's putting up with all the problems I have.
そういえば、今日もう一度病院で君のお父さんのこと聞いてみた。
パパの？
Dr. Ogai Masahiko is Saya's father and her only living relative. Saya has asked me to unravel the mystery of his disappearance.
やっぱり何も教えてくれない。何か隠している雰囲気なんだが。
そう。
I expected Saya to be a little more disappointed.
心配じゃないのかい？お父さんのこと。
そういうわけじゃないの。
She gives a little shake of her head, then smiles at me once again.
ありがとう、文則。私のためにいろいろと。
君はそれ以上のことを
It's
僕
nothing
のために
compared
して
to
くれるんだ。
what you've done for me. Oh, I thank her for the meal and set my chopsticks down next to a perfectly clean plate. As wretched as the taste was, thinking of the care that Saya put into it gave me the strength to finish every bite.
じゃあお風呂にする？
また背中流してくれるか？
Ever since Saya moved in, it's been like having my own wife. That's what it sounds like. Sounds like you're married. Saya, why are you so good to me? Is this truly what you want? What am I that I could give yourself to me body and soul? Is this merely sympathy? Do you pity me? The exile from society? Is that enough for you to surrender yourself to such mad desire? Are you so wanton? Saya is here. She is with me now. Only in this moment is her existence certain. Only when I am joined with her can I believe. No matter what cruel fate might await me, Saya, there is nothing I fear more than losing you.
みのり、泣いてるの？
I realize that my cheeks are wet
ど
with
うしてまた
tears.
さよ。なぜ僕にここまでしてくれる。
みのり、
わからないんだ。わからないのに僕だけがどんどん君に惹かれていく。君なしちゃ耐えられなくなっていく。
I wrap my arms tighter around her, praying that our bodies will melt together and never again be apart.
教えてくれ。どうすれば君を失わずにいられる。僕は何をすればいい。どうやって君に報いればいい。
こうやって抱いていて、みのりに抱いてもらうの大好き。ずっと一緒にこうしていたい。だから私はみのりから離れたりしない。
なぜ僕なんだ。
それはね、みのりが一人ぼっちだから。
That's concerning.
それはさやも一人ぼっちだったから。
Oh, I guess there's more. The sorrow in her voice resonates with my own. There is a deep loneliness in her eyes, a loneliness from which now springs boundless
だ
affection.
からさやにもみのりしかいないの。この世でただ一人だけ私を抱きしめてくれる大好きなみのり。
Now I know. No matter what horrors this world unleashes upon me, all I'll ever need is Saya. It sounds like it's done intentionally that way, sir. Alright. Yo is determined to talk to him today. Nothing will happen as long as she hesitates. It will only prolong her suffering. The time has come to show her courage once again. Yo's fourth period on Thursdays is biology. This is her one chance to see Fuminori. As required course with many students, the lecture is held in a large hall that can seat well over 200. But since the room is usually only half full, it's rarely difficult for Yo to find a seat she wants. Yo prefers to sit near the center where it's easiest to hear the professor. Most of the students congregate in this area for the same reason. Fuminori usually sits beside her, although given the ambiguous state of their relationship, she knows better than to take this for granted. Still, she tries to save a seat whenever possible. That's sweet of her. The classroom isn't crowded today, so Yo is able to get her bag on the seat next to her without inconveniencing anyone. But when the professor arrives at the usual time to start class, there is still no sign of Fuminori. After waiting about 10 minutes, Yo scans the room furtively. Fuminori is there, sitting alone in the far back corner. Did he miss Yo when he came in? No, he couldn't have. And besides, no serious student would willingly sit so far away from the front. Feeling miserable, Yo slides her bag back over to herself. Poor girl. Fuminori is out the door the moment class ends. Yo barely manages to catch up to him before he disappears down the hallway.
咲坂さん。
Oh, my voice seems to be higher for her. Sheesh. Fuminori jerks at the sound of his name. You would think she'd just screamed at him. Yeah, in his mind, you might have.
何か。
Wow, he looks angry! Now that they are face to face, Yo is painfully aware of how much weight Fuminori has lost. His sunken eyes and protruding cheekbones are a far cry from the features familiar to her. She wonders whether he's under a lot of stress or perhaps not getting enough nutrition. Maybe it's both. He definitely looks more tense than he should. Afraid, even though of what she can't imagine. Wow, that took me a while to read. His eyes move restlessly from point to point, and he refuses to look Yo in the eye. It hurts to see Fuminori this way. What could have changed him so? Today, she reminds herself, rekindling the flame of courage in her heart.
お話があるんです。ちょっといいですか？
The courtyard is empty and silent. No one is willing to sit and chat in the cold November air.
話って何？
Don't you remember? Yo almost blurts the question, but manages to keep her composure.
咲坂さん、最近ちょっと様子が変です。見
I
て
mean,
て
she's cute.
心配になります。
そうかもね。まあ、あんな目にあった後だから。
He smiles like it's nothing, but even that seemed forced. He's even standing precisely one pace further away from her than he used to.
本当にそれだけなんですか？
君にはそれだけじゃないように見えるのかい？
Yo manages to keep from flinching at the harshness of his tone.
何か我慢してるみたいに見え。
Oops. Sorry. Rather than answer, Fuminori grinds his toe to the dead grass at his feet. Fearing that her determination might flag, Yo lets the words come as they may.
どうしようもないものを無理して壊れそうになるほど頑張って我慢してるみたいに。今の咲坂さんはそう見えます。
そうかい。
This is an even clearer sign of rejection than his prior evasiveness. But Yo's determination is strong. Today, at least, she
友
won't
達っ
back
て
down.
こんな時のためにい
Trying
る
to
と思うん
convey
です。
sincerity of her feelings for him.
ご家族の
So yeah, this is what he sees.
本当に残念だったと思います。でも
I wouldn't be attracted to what he sees either.
一人ぼっちじゃありません。友くんや大見ちゃんやそれに私がいます。
Yo can no longer stop the words pouring from her lips. She fears that if she does not unleash her feelings now, they will be lost forever.
一人で背負い込んだりしなくても私たちで何とかできることだってあると思うんです。たとえ何もできないにしても話してさえくれればあなたが少しでも楽になるかもしれない。私咲坂さんの力になりたいんです。他のみんなも同じ気持ちだと。
やめてくれ。
Whoa! She promised herself that she wouldn't back down, but Fuminori's expression is terrible enough to shatter her resolve. The look in his eyes is not anger or any other warm-blooded emotion. It is hate. Murderously cold hate.
そういえば君には一つ返事しなきゃいけない要件があったね。
Oh, this is gonna be bad. He remembers. He remembers, and still he's treated her so coldly. That is all the answer she needs. If his words stab any deeper, she might very well die.
僕は君のことをとりわけ特別に意識したことなんてなかった。君に好意を持たれてもどう接すればいいのか迷ってた。僕が君のことどう思ってるのか正直な気持ちが自分でもわからなかったから。
咲坂さん。
でもね、今ではもうはっきりと答えが出てる。あれから考える時間だけはたっぷりとあったからね。筑波さん、僕はあんたのことが大嫌いだ。顔も見たくない。
That is harsh, man! Don't cry, Yo tells herself, but too late to stop the tears pouring from her
もう
eyes.
二度と会いたくないっていうのは無理だね。同じ学校に通ってるんだし。だからせめて今後は僕に声をかけないでくれないか。目障りなんだよ、つくづく。
Look at that smile on his face.
君さ、少しは頭を冷やした方が良かったんだよ。どうせ大宮浩二にけしかけられてその気になってただけなんだろ。自分一人でのぼせてる分には勝手だけどさ、他人を巻き込むなって言うんだ。
That's all Yo can take. Even after shedding tears in front of him, she absolutely refuses to let him hear her cry. Any disgrace would be preferable to breaking down here. So she runs, fleeing breathlessly from the courtyard, with Fuminori's cold smile on her back. Damn, dude, that was harsh. So I'm actually gonna end it here, but sheesh. I really hope that there's a way to save. So I'm actually gonna end it here. So much happened in one episode. A little more than I was anticipating. Don't forget to come back next time to find out what happens. Right now we see that Omi is here seeing... And so I guess we're going to get Omi's point of view. But sheesh. Well, at least this time we found out about Saya. We found a little bit more about her. She's throwing me off. She's throwing some weird vibes though, man. Saya's definitely throwing some weird vibes. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!